Design thinking. You can see this as two words, design plus thinking. So if you look at the process of design thinking, we always start at abstract level. In the sense, we do not know what exactly we are looking at. Then what we do, we think around, iterate, we develop a principle, concept, define. This is the mindset. Once a mindset is clear, we talk about the process, where we understand, create, and deliver. To do that, we use different tools, and then we get a concrete ideation of the process. So meaning of it is different stages of a design thinking involve abstract, mindset, process, and concrete. We will see this in detail. What is a mindset? Whenever we are talking about anything, it all depends on an individual view. We are a group of people sitting together at a canteen. Suddenly a topic rises for discussion with us. Every one of us will talk at one particular perspective with respect to that topic for discussion. Let us say it is about online classes, or it is in the canteen that is being provided. So we have all our different views. So when we have different views with respect to it, can we come to a conclusion? We cannot come to a conclusion. So we always have contradicting mindsets. So for any solution that we provide, the mindset plays a prominent one. So how do we convert this mindset into a solution providing process? That is where the important is. So mindset plays an important role. Our mindset should be towards the design. Then what is design? From your perspective, can you people tell me what is design? So normally we keep hearing these words: designer shirts, designer frocks, design chapel. Do we hear these words? Right? The meaning is that there is a look that is being brought into the product. Maybe it is cloth, maybe it is pen, or anything. It is brought into the product which provides aesthetics, in the sense good looks for the product. What else the design should look in? What are the other things the design should look in? It should be able to convert a need into a demand. A decorative pattern, as your friend said. Along with that, your design should be able to solve your need into a solution. It should be providing a need into a demand, along with not alone the outer looks of the product. So our mindset says that it's a decorative pattern. What I am extending to it is that design is not alone a decorative pattern or an outer look. It is much more than that. The design is much more than that. Right. So design should always be of a form that it converts a need into a demand. It converts a need into a solution. So if you look at this part, earlier design was appearances. Now if you look in the present scenario, your design is not alone of the appearances. It is no longer associated with simple objects and appearances. Design is increasingly understood in much wider sense. Design is increasingly understood in much wider sense as the human capacity to plan and produce desired outcomes. No longer associated with simple objects and appearances, design is increasingly understood in much wider sense as human capacity to plan and produce desired outcomes. How many people have heard about Parker pens? How many people have heard about Parker pens? You have heard about Parker pens. When the Parker pen comes into your mind, you never think about it as a pen that can be used in daily life. You always think that the Parker pens are for gifts and not for daily usage. And earlier, where were these pens available? Not in a regular bookstore or a pen shop. They were available only in gift shops or fancy stores. Why do you go for Parker pens? Because of the look the pen gives it. But as the time progressed, the market of the Parker pen started decreasing. People, less number of people were only buying pens. The market demand for the Parker pens was decreasing. The look, the aesthetics of the pen is very good, but the sales of the product is decreasing. So as with respect to a perspective of design that we are talking about, decorative or structure, it is very good in Parker, but it is not getting the market. What could be the reason for this? You have heard about Parker pens. When the Parker pen comes into your mind, you never think about it as a pen that can be used in daily life. You always think that the Parker pens are for gifts and not for daily usage. And earlier, where were these pens available? Not in a regular bookstore or a pen shop. They were available only in gift shops or fancy stores. Why do you go for Parker pens? Because of the look the pen gives it. But as the time progressed, the market of the Parker pen started decreasing. People, less number of people were only buying pens. The market demand for the Parker pens was decreasing. The look, the aesthetics of the pen is very good, but the sales of the product is decreasing. So as with respect to a perspective of design that we are talking about, decorative or structure, it is very good in Parker, but it is not getting the market. What could be the reason for this? The designers who have ever designed this, they only thought of the pen as a product, and they have developed a very good product. But they did not think about the person who will be using that product. They did not think about the person who will be using that product and how he will be using that product. They did not think about. That is where the product started losing its market. So they designed, but they lacked thinking in the design of the product. That is where they had the problem in the market. So typically, when we look at the design, it is an art of optimization to meet the object. So I say, my perspective of a design is, it is an art optimized to meet the objectives. That is where the Parker pens were also missing. It should look good, but it should also satisfy my needs, requirements, and objectives. This second part of this is only possible if you incorporate a process of thinking in the designing. So, other way of saying it, design is making sense of the things. How can you bring in sense into the things? You should look design as style plus some form of a usability. You should look design as style plus some form of a usability. Style give you the outer looks, and usability will give you how comfortable you are using that product for different perspectives. Best example for this is a umbrellas that we use. Once upon a time, we used to have umbrellas which are long. Umbrellas which are long. So they were providing you the shelter from sun and rain. But when you fold it, it was always difficult for you to store it. Now what do we have? Now we have foldable umbrellas. The objective that they will provide you is, they will again provide you the shelter from sunlight and rain, but also they will also provide you another usability of storing in your vanity bags or in your backpacks. Easy storability of the device. So there is a design plus usability. If you can bring in both of them, then your product has a value, real value. So that is the reason I say you should look design as style plus form of a usability. And we have to always remember this. Design is not so small. It's a large process, a large entity to work with, think with, and implement. You should always consider design as a way of thinking, an approach to solving problems. Design is not alone sketching, drawing, or look. You should consider it as a process of thinking and an approach to solving problems. So there may be a lot of problems defined to you, like reduced water consumption, a discarding of the waste, improvement of sanitization, and all. Your design thing, when you incorporate thinking, should be able to identify the problems. Let us say I think improve recruitment of potential participants in clinical trials. I want to design a solution to this. Then I have to think how I have to implement the potential participants into this. Long back, Steve Jobs said, design is not what it looks like or feels like. Design is how it works. I reiterate. Steve Jobs said long back, design is not what it looks like or feels like. Design is how it works. So now, what is that? What do you need to do? How it works? Thinking has to be brought into the design. This is possible. Incorporating thinking into design is possible if you think design as an experience rather than an isolated object. Let us say that we are planning for a function in our house. So maybe it's a birthday function or a marriage function or an engagement function in our house. And let us say that you are the one who has to execute it in your house. What do you do? So typically, say few people have responded saying that they will take initiative to do all the works, and by executing the plans or ideas which leads to the function, a successful one. Right. So now what is happening? We know that we want to conduct a function, and then we are talking about execution. There is something in between initial and the final. What is a plan? So what we do? We do not make the decision on our own. We talk to our group of friends. We talk to our elders. Take their experiences into consideration. Last time we had this menu in the food, so people did not like. So we have to change the menu. Last time there was a lot of suffocation in the hall. So we have to make some arrangements to reduce the suffocation in the hall. We make the people feel comfortable. So as it is summer, we may have to provide cool drinks. As it is winter, we may have to provide them with some warm drinks and hot food. How all this comes into things? Through experience, through observation. As we approach towards a business problem, in the same way, the designer has to approach towards a design problem. So in a business problem, what do we think about? What is the market value? Who will be my customers? What will be the demand for my product? How much of revenue will be generated? How much of revenue I have to put in? Where will be my manufacturing units? How will I do the marketing? This is what is business approach. The designer approach should also be in a similar grounds as a business approach.